Hey, this is Mark, and I am actually in a restaurant in my neighborhood, and I saw the time, and I have a friend that's meeting me soon, and I happened to bring my laptop and my book because I knew I might have to do this recording, and I am having to. This is a reading from the Golden Present, Daily Inspirational Readings by Sri Swami Satchidananda, and I'm actually just taking a little break from dinner so I can do this recording. So yeah, this is kind of on the fly tonight. So it's June 2nd, and the topic is you are what you think. You are what you think. Remember that. If your thoughts are impure, then your body is sick. Your mind is sick. Your life is sick. You may have all kinds of medicine around your house, hundreds of doctors to take care of you, but they cannot help you if you are poisoning your system with wrong thoughts. As you think, so you become. Thoughts are very important. Well, yeah, this is a excuse me, powerful one to not just think about our actions that are powerful, not just our words that are powerful, but that our thoughts. I've heard the phrase, you are what you eat. I'm thinking, of course, about that since I'm just having dinner at this place. But to actually go so far as to say you are what you think sounds a bit daunting in a way, because we have thousands of thoughts every day. And so I think probably a certain percentage of my thoughts aren't ones that I want to take action on. I don't know if I'd say they're impure, but they are certainly not all noble and clean, and some of them are filled with all of the different emotions that we're capable of. So I think what I'll venture to say that he's saying here, but I venture to say that Swami Satchidananda is saying here is really just to have that recognition that thought forms are very powerful, and to take that to heart, because on some degree we can control our thoughts. We can certainly be aware of what's influencing our thoughts, what's influencing us, that triggers certain thoughts. And so if we're sitting around watching certain shows, they're certainly going to fill our head with the thoughts that relate to that. If we're interested in comedy, maybe we'll have more comedy in our thoughts. If we're interested in thrillers, dramas, we might have the storylines kind of running through our heads, or be seeking out that drama in our everyday life. Some kind of fun music in here, so I'm kind of enjoying the tunes here. Oh, that's outside. Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's coming through then on this microphone, but I'm having some thoughts of cool, funky music, so maybe those are my thoughts. It's interesting here, he goes so far as to say, you may have all these medicines around the house, doctors to take care of you, but if you're poisoning your system with your own thoughts, those aren't going to help. I think that's pretty powerful to recognize that, when we have a positive mind, when we have things that are uplifting in our heart and our minds, then they can rise above medicine even. It can rise above the power that some of those, you hear about people who have, become cured from certain things that the next person isn't. But it's all a little bit mysterious, because it's not always a perfect equation. But I think there's definitely some don't know, there's got to be some percentage that the positive thoughts and this keeping the uplifting thoughts in your mind are helpful. I'm kind of distracted, I have to say. So, what about when we get distracted? You know, it is challenging. There are people passing by here, and I'm not in my usual setting where I was able to ground myself and prepare for this. So I'm aware that there's some distraction that's pulling on my thoughts, and so it's very apropos in a way. How do we integrate this in our everyday life when there are all these different distractions? I'm also thinking about some stuff in the news right now and how it's hard to not have that stuff trigger certain thoughts, and how I don't know if I'm feeling fearful so much about what I'm seeing in the news or hearing. I notice that I go through this period or this process of frustration about what I'm hearing because it sounds very ignorant and very careless. Then it goes into almost like starting to think there's got to be some purpose to this. To then go to, okay, what kind of action would make sense that I can do, that I'm capable of doing, rather than just having stress about something I can't do anything about. What can I do? Then I think, is this happening to help trigger me to be more proactive in areas that I otherwise might have been more passive? Then it makes me want to think of who would I want to connect with in order to be able to activate and to help do something about this, creating that community. So I think that more, to me, okay, then that's what I'd like to become. So I want to think steps ahead versus in the beginning. I don't want to be the frustration and anger that I would be feeling in the beginning. I knew that I would need to work through to get the more clear-minded thinking. That just is what works for me. Because then I feel like I can actually do something about it, versus if I just stay with the anger and frustration, then all I'm going to want to do is then yell back with anger. And then there's just no end to that. I feel like we've seen that. But to let it cycle through, to feel where it can turn into something useful. Yeah. So I guess it's like that processing thoughts to get to that point to know what's the right action. And then I would say, okay, then I'll become those thoughts, I'm gonna have to think about this one a little bit more, but that's what I'm gonna share for now. I'm gonna get back to eating, and thanks for watching this, and I'll see you tomorrow somewhere. All right.